Rito, and Louis Avon. Where's Louis? Louis Taylor is not here today. Celicia is here today, and I think that's it. So we really have a great team in place, and I've looked at some of the other Wilmington Cups organizations out there, and there's over 100 of them. And you know, for us starting out 2 months ago, a great team in place, and really just a solid group of people that are coming together to help build entrepreneurship in Round Rock, to bring some great presenters to the table, and really some great, you know, I guess mingling for people beforehand and after, and reaching out and introducing yourself to new people. So thank you for the organizer team for you know, pulling this all together. Again, No Time for Social is a sponsor. Hyatt Place, where we're at, is a sponsor for the next 2 months. So if you are looking at having an event, this is obviously a great room to do it. If you've got people coming into town, definitely recommend Hyatt Place for staying. And we can't say enough about the Round Rock Chamber. The chamber is just is Mike still in the room? Where is Mike? Ah, there he is, right there in front. I should have known. Mike Odom, the president, really just thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So we're missing the video, but I want to talk a little bit about 1 Million Cups and what it's all about. For those of you who have not done any research, the goal of 1 Million Cups is to bring in a company that is on the verge of starting or already running, and they're looking for just a little bit of advice. We look at you guys out in the audience as a mini advisory board for this company that is here today and any future companies coming in to provide really solid, sound advice. So not necessarily picking apart business plans or critiquing, but providing some great feedback that they could take back and learn from everybody in here, and maybe some experiences, and implement. So there's going to be a 6 to 8 minute presentation, and then a 20-minute Q&A. So the audience will be encouraged to support the presenters, providing insights, suggestions, guidance, feedback, just really with this one question that they will have at the end when they're done presenting. We look at this as a supportive and encouraging process. So really looking at you know, pushing out some great information back to the presenters. So without further ado, I want to introduce Nick Medencia, close enough, and Marjorie Ferrone. I think Nick is going to be taking the lead on this, the co-founders of Drone Parks Worldwide. So welcome, guys.
Well, hey, good morning. My name is Nick Medencia. I'm the founder and CEO of Drone Parks Worldwide. Marjorie's here with me.
Woo! I'm going to be doing the demo, so don't think I'm done.
Yeah, she'll be back up here for a demo. So, yeah, with that being said, we'll jump right on in. My name is Nick Medencia, and I'm the founder and CEO of Drone Parks Worldwide. At Drone Parks Worldwide, it's our mission to give the world the gift of flight while making the skies above us safer. Right now, the truth is that drones are pretty doomed. Drones of all kinds are expensive, complicated, and worst of all, flown in really unsafe flying locations. After all, when I, as a racing drone pilot, pick up my drone to go fly in a public park, which is the only place I can fly, my greatest fear is hitting someone and getting sued into oblivion. Our solution to this is drone parks. Drone parks are indoor spaces where anyone can come and fly a drone for an affordable price, and best of all, in a safe location. Through our proprietary technology, you as a pilot will never actually touch your drone, so you can never be hit by it. So what is a drone park? Well, our vision is to build stadiums where anyone can fly a drone for any purpose. However, right now we're really focused on our first wave of parks, which is going to be here in Texas. And these are going to be smaller warehouse conversions, anywhere between 10 to 25,000 square feet, with at least 12-foot ceilings. Here's some things you can do in a drone park. If you're an individual, you can learn to fly. Or if you don't really like that, you can just sit around and watch people do the work. And you can compete. If you're a corporation, you can have stuff like team building, and if you're a school, you can do stuff like STEAM workshops. So, how does a drone park work? So your experience can be summed up in 3 steps. First, find your local drone park. Right now in the Austin Round Rock area, we're looking actually at something in the Domain in the Round Rock area. That's why we're here today. Next, learn to fly a drone. Over the last 1.5 years, we've taught between 1,500 to 1,800 people how to fly drones. And so we can teach you faster than anyone else in the world can how to fly a drone. Or you can just relax and watch someone else do it. And lastly, fly, compete with your friends or your children, and dominate your friends or let your kids dominate you. I can tell you guys are well caffeinated because that was a great laugh. So, all right. So Marge, take us away with our demo.
All right, so guys, the drones that you see in the sky are not the drones that we use. So when Nick said that you can either fly yourself or watch, it's a different kind of watching. So the drones that we use, they're called FPV, or first person view. So most of the drones that most of you have seen are big, they have a camera on them, and they're used for photography and videography. These also have a camera on them. They are front-facing cameras, this little thing right here, and this as well right here. So these front-facing cameras send live video feeds to a pair or many pairs of FPV or first-person view goggles. So as a pilot, instead of flying your drone by looking at the drone itself, you're flying your drone feeling like you are sitting in the pilot's seat. And in addition to that, oh yeah, very cool. Well, you went, okay. 4 volunteers to come up here.
And Mike, you're going to be our first victim. Mike.
Your
Your organizers gave you away, man. They punked you. They're like,
This is why you don't sit in the front.
I'll jump in, why not?
Yes, come on. 2 more. Yes, you in the back. And come on, ladies. I need a hand up. Yes, please, come on.
Perfect.
So you guys.
all right, so what you guys do is
Thank
stand shoulder to shoulder, please, with me.
there
Take a couple
4?
steps that way, a couple steps that way, a couple steps that way. Perfect. Stand perfect right on in here. And what you guys are going to do is go ahead and... Oop.
You're not going to be able to see what you're looking for.
And I'm going to give you guys these goggles. Go ahead and put them on for me, please.
All right.
There you go.
Okay,
Here
wait a
you
minute,
guys
are
go.
we gonna get sued?
No.
Get somebody?
I'm flying, so don't worry.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's one for you.
And you guys aren't going to be able to see anything for a minute here.
Well, I took off my glasses. I can't see anything now anyway.
I'm just curious, do we have a light switch? Can we hit the lights off?
Oh, nice.
Perfect, good enough. Thank you. All right, 1 second, guys.
Am I supposed to be seeing like a...
You're supposed to be seeing...
Fuzzy
Fuzz.
black and
Can
white.
you guys see me?
Good.
1970s TV.
TV.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I don't
There's
remember
one for you,
70s
Mike.
TV. I'm too young.
There you go.
I'm already dizzy.
Oh, hey.
All right,
This is crazy.
let me come.
I love it.
Let me have you take a little step. Kind of, yeah, perfect, thank you. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's never going to be.
Oop.
Do you know how to work with a forge?
By the way, this is our friend Troy, guys. If anyone's interested in the grassroots
Troy.
effort here, he's a local racing pilot. He's like a local celebrity in Texas.
No, I'm not.
Don't be humble about it, Troy. All right, you guys ready to go flying?
Thanks.
As long as I don't fall down.
All right, well, we're gonna go. So, ready or not? Here we come.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Oh, they hit somebody.
Holy cow.
Have you done this before?
Crash and burn.
I thought we weren't supposed to hit people.
There's no safety aspect here, so no one harm in hitting.
Oh, this is great.
I like these power stance.
Whoa. Mike. Oh, hey.
Oh my gosh!
I'm alive.
Are you hurt?
I'm good. You guys can take your eyes
Don't
Wait, I
you
didn't
all
smash the
wish you
drum.
had volunteered now?
Are you insured?
That depends who's asking. Well, thanks, guys. That was the first time, honestly, I ever see a tiny 20-gram drone knock over a grown man.
So
Cool.
dramatic.
So who are our customers for this? So essentially, we're looking for young men with a great paying job and no children.
Wait, I'm 48. I don't
Are
think
you
the demographic-
25? All right. So someone like a software developer or a mechanical engineer. Next, we're looking for millennial mothers, people with one child and a good paying job. And we're really marketing our product to the parents for their children. Is that we're saying, hey, we can entertain your kids while teaching them something. And our strategy for this is we want to attack a smaller market, less than $3 billion, and actually grow that market while growing our market share. And this is derived from the Peter Thiel philosophy. So what are the stats? We are seeing absolutely explosive growth in the drone industry right now. The biggest of all is that we're seeing a 32% compounded annual growth rate. In fact, there's going to be over 7 million, or the population of Houston, drones in the US air by 2020. Worst of all is right now there's 0 drone parks. So why do we choose Texas? Texas is our market priority right now. Because we have the most income of any of the top 3 drone states, better to our Florida and California. And we also have the second most drones of any state. Our revenue streams are all centered around incentivizing you for a membership, just like a gym would. By buying a membership to a drone park, you're unlocking more of our curriculum and other awesome things that will enable you to become a better pilot. And it's just like basketball, right? If you can play like LeBron James, you're going to want to play like LeBron James. But if you can't really, touch the rim or you can't shoot a three-pointer, you're not going to want to come and play a lot. And that's where being a member is a big difference. Right now, we're preparing for our first angel round for our very first drone park. After that, we want to open a venture round in spring of 2019 to make it more technology play. And lastly, thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I'd love it if you guys would join our growing online family of over 105,000 strong. And we're going to have our demo, and we got free stickers for you guys. And yeah, thank you, and I look forward to your questions. The mighty one.
All right.
Hand it back to you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. What a great presentation, and that is something to definitely check out. So, why we're here? Obviously, we mentioned in the beginning feedback, resources, and even potential investors. So I know that Nick is looking for any advice that he can get on getting the company pushed forward. I know they've got a Kickstarter, but I don't think that's the focus, right?
Not
so
the
we're going to
focus.
pass that up. But what can our community do for you, Nick? So what is like one question that you can ask our advisory board right now that would help you get some feedback to get this thing moving along?
Yeah, well, like you said, we're here for 3 primary reasons. Mainly, if you guys know a really cool old decrepit space around town that you think would be a great drone park, come
Circuit
talk to
City.
And if anyone's interested in joining our team, please come talk to me as well. But yeah, really, we want to know, would you guys come to this? Would you pay for it? If you guys have a small business, would your small business pay for it? And yeah, thank you guys so much, and this has been awesome. We love this energy. This is our 5th 1 million cups here in Texas, and you guys have the most energy, but don't tell it to wait.
Excellent. We'll open it up for feedback now. It looks like we have one question back here to start.
Absolutely, I think this is a great team building thing for any business. It doesn't have to be small business. I worked for a large business, and we would definitely come to team building efforts in something like this. So
Great, thank you so much.
and the energy that you put forth in the presentation of it is part of what's going to sell it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thanks for being our brave woman to come up here.
Right here, sir? Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Moreno from South University. How do you compete with virtual reality games that are so realistic?
Yeah.
You can have weapons and all that. How would you compete with that type of entertainment?
Yeah, so essentially the thing about virtual reality is, yes, it's awesome. I love virtual reality, but it's not real. when I go and I crash my drone, that's real. When I hit him in the face, that's real, and he feels that. And I think to me, and to a lot of people, that's what makes the difference, is that this is an actual real-life thing. And when you crash, I feel like I'm tumbling. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Whereas in virtual reality, and I'm getting shot at by aliens, all right, okay, let them shoot me. You know, so that, yeah, so that's the biggest difference. Yeah.
Maybe put that into your pitch going
Yeah,
forward.
absolutely. And that, it's like, we tell people it's the difference between like playing Grand Theft Auto and leading the police on a car chase. So,
Yes, sir.
You're 25 to 35. I think I'd expand that. This 74-year-old dude would love to do it.
yeah, and that's one of the things we're looking into is it's really hard to find any sort of statistics around the drone community. And about 3 weeks ago, we actually saw one of the manufacturers release their data. It was for the UK, so it was a little bit, we're not sure how accurate it was. But their largest market was actually guys 45 to 55.
Wow.
So, and that was something that shocked us. But
Young dudes.
young at heart. No.
Never underestimate the older nerds.
I know, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
Sorry. As far as your 1, 3, and 5-year performance, what are your expectations?
Come talk to me. Sorry, yeah, but yeah, come talk to me afterwards.
You mentioned what age groups that you're going to market to.
Mhm.
How are you going to, what avenues of marketing are you going to use for that?
Yeah, so that depends on the market. So like right now, the 3 major markets we're looking at here in Texas are, you know, here in North Austin, Round Rock area, and then Houston, and then Waco. And so that would depend on the market. Ultimately, for the younger crowd, obviously social media is going to be a huge one because that's where they are. Whereas like with the older crowds, they tend to be a bit more segregated in the terms of where they are in the market. So it would ultimately just have to depend on where the audience is. And I know it sounds crazy between like Houston and Austin, but you'd be amazed at the difference between how just people's behaviors, you know? So.
Why Waco and not Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Dallas-Fort Worth is, however, it's a little bit more expensive. Waco's nuts. I know, like, literally, we were pitching 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, exactly. We were pitching 3 weeks ago in Houston. I said Waco, and the room just erupted in laughter. And you know, it's like, I promise you, we're not trying to start it cold. But Waco's incredible. You know, you have a town of 125,000 people that attracts 1.9 million visitors a year. Half of those are from Texas. So I think that's the equivalent. We ran the map. That's the equivalent of if Houston attracted around 62 million people every year. I mean, you go everywhere. There's tourists. I mean, it's crazy. They treat it like a giant Texas amusement park. Crazy. Go to Waco if you haven't been to Waco. Go check it out.
So compare.
I'm going to go this way. So, yes, sir.
So as far as your business is concerned, I'm sure you're going to have a rental space, or you're also going to have retail as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of our secondary revenue streams is a retail space for drones. Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions more on the technical side. How involved are you guys on the actual development of new technologies, new products on the drone? I mean,
Yeah.
if I told you that I wanted to see what they just saw on that screen, could you do that? Or
Yeah, absolutely. And we brought the thing to do that today. But the thing is, yeah. Well, the thing is everybody uses different projectors, right? And so it wouldn't work. But yes, absolutely. So like we are looking at some proprietary technologies. For our initial beachhead, we do not want to be that involved in the development of drone technology. However, afterwards, we are looking at developing our own proprietary drone for the purpose of teaching people how to fly. So.
And the other goes in the same direction. Is how far across distances can you transmit video? I mean, can I sit down in my house and watch what you're doing?
So that's a complicated answer. So for our facility and the level of power that we're actually using on the transmitter chip, you can only go about 50 to 100 feet. But honestly, Troy is probably the best resource for you if you want to talk about super in depth. Put you on the spot, sorry, Troy.
I mean,
super in depth, yeah.
Just to answer, I can quickly explain, I guess, video technology. So it's interesting, somebody said when they put the goggles on that it looked like 70s TV.
Yeah.
Essentially, the technology we were using for FPV flight is analog digital or video signals, just like were eliminated off of the TV spectrum 5 to 10 years ago, and depending on where you live. I think Las Vegas just eliminated analog this year. So the question is honestly, you could transmit that video signal 1,000 miles away if you had the right hardware. You know, the drone technologies are all miniature, like, the drone technology that we use here is all becoming, for the last 2 years, companies have started developing micro technology specific for drones. So one of the big things that I think people don't recognize is drone technology has kicked off a whole nother area of research and development that was kind of stagnant at a time. There was no reason for companies to make a CCD camera smaller than a 28 by 28 size PCB board up until drone technology started needing smaller cameras. Because who needs anything smaller than that big of a security camera, right? So I think that to answer your question, I digressed into something else. It's as far as you want. I mean, depending on the antenna you have on the receiver, the power of the VTX, and all of that. But you're not going to get a huge VTX on one of these things. That's where you're seeing the other technologies, and digital signals is what you're seeing really in like your DJI gear and stuff like that are all running digital protocols that are able to send that just like Wi-Fi as far away as they want, as long as they have the right hardware.
And like, yeah, so like, let me give you, yeah, just a visual, I'm a very visual person. So like, if you think about like a TV station antenna, right? It's like 300 feet tall, it's giant, takes up like 4 acres of land. Ours is almost as big as right here. So, yeah, just to give you an idea. Yeah, so next question. Thanks so much, Troy.
So, before you ask your question, I want you to say whether you would buy the service or not.
Yeah, good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of goes to my question is, I think that I can see myself coming to this one time.
Mm-hmm.
What as a business are you doing to create, because for me, my son would probably love doing the races and stuff of that nature, but for me, what am I going to do to keep me intrigued on a daily basis of coming in there and saying, hey, I want to go fly a drone, race a drone, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, great question. So that's like one of my biggest concerns. And we actually looked at several other entertainment venues, and one of them, iFly, has a huge problem with this. Has anyone here ever been to iFly? How many times have you all gone? Once? Exactly. So that's the biggest problem, right? And so for us, what we plan on doing is we actually plan on having a very dynamic environment. So we want to have minimal build out in our actual retail space, in our actual real estate space, so that way we can change things. And that's just part of it. And then on our race courses as well, so like for your son, what we're going to do to keep him coming back is we're going to constantly change it. So we're going to reset it, right? So like if you go to K1, there's that one guy who's there, he's there all the time, and he's going to absolutely annihilate everybody. I know, I go to K1, right? Same thing on Xbox, that one guy who's going to annihilate everybody. So the way we level the playing field is we change things. Oh, hey, great, you were great at that course 2 weeks ago, new one now. So, yeah.
I think the corporate angle as well is something that would be different than iFly, where you could go out to businesses and you've got teams coming in versus iFly. You're not going to have a team beating each other up to get to the top.
Yeah. Same thing. I mean, same thing with the STEAM workshops.
Sure.
If I were a teacher, I'd just be like, okay, guys, I'm going to go buy a ceiling fan and we're going to drop balls in it, and there you go. And I can teach you the same things off that. But yeah, go ahead.
That's a question back here.
Have you kind of figured out, right? I know when we had discussions before, you're trying to keep this a little under wraps, but do you have a range, what the monthly membership is?
In terms of what?
Cost for the monthly membership.
Oh yeah, sorry, $60 to $80 is the price point we're looking at right now. So.
And that includes drone rental or flying?
Sorry, say that again?
Does that include the rental of the drone, or does that bring your own drone?
Correct. So right now, we're going to offer a different service for bring your own drone than for rental drones.
Got it.
So.
Yes. Would you buy it?
Yes, depending on price point for like at least to try it out. Two-part question. I'm not, obviously it's going to be a large space. Do you have plans to divide the space, or I imagine someone that is very experienced is going to be very annoyed if they have me as a newbie knocking down their drone every 2 seconds because I'm still figuring it all out. And also, obviously, taking your drone out to the park, you're going to see the birds, the other things, the fun like grass, everything else. Is it going to be scaped and everything that is appealing to your audience?
So yes, so we're going to separate the people who want to just try it from the professionals, absolutely. So yeah, about the outdoors thing. So yeah, there are some people who fly drones just to go and like float, right? I like that, I get it. But those people as well are also the ones who are like, oh my God, the FAA is changing laws every day and I hate it, right? Or hey, the city of Austin just told me I can't fly in a park. And I'm going to get a ticket if I do, which happened to me in Houston, by the way. I almost got a ticket for flying. Marjorie was there. Just ask her. It's her fault, not mine. No, I'm just kidding. But so the same problems that these people are having from flying outdoors is also the reason they love it, right? Which is also the reason that they come to a drone park. So, yeah.
I mean, my understanding is the FAA doesn't allow you to fly a drone over people anyway. My son was in Houston at a soccer tournament, and the other team had a drone over it, and you know, I was very close to going over to the guy who was flying it, and they were, you know, you're not allowed to be doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, technically, the FAA regulations or guidelines, I should say right now, says that you can't fly a drone over people. Don't ask me what over people means.
So whether I would buy it or not kind of depends on my safety question, because she has brought up a good point, is you have newbies learning how to fly. You are going to have crashes and so forth, but like you mentioned at the beginning, there's the fear of crashing into a person. So what are the safety features to keep that from happening?
So we filed one utility patent for various designs and other aspects, some digital stuff, that will keep the drone from crashing into you. Because we want to be able to say with 100% accuracy that it will literally be impossible for a drone to ever hit you. Because
that hasn't been implemented yet, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes you say that? Yeah, and so, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you should also explain like that, you know, this is going to have a pilot area that's segregated off that the drone's not going to be able to get to anyways because of either netting or something.
Yeah,
Very good. That's kind of
exactly. So yeah, there is going to be a physical separation from you. And, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
We don't just go out and fly around ourselves like he did. He's willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Would you buy it? Or did I ask that already?
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
already
said
said
that
that. You were the first one.
Places like the little race cars, is that K1 that you're talking
Yes, K1, yes, car. Yeah.
I know that it's driving versus doing the flying, but couldn't you draw some inferences from that until you get more data on flying
Yes,
drones and
absolutely.
stuff? Because even I've gone and done that, and I'm the crazy one that nobody wants to get near. But and that seems way more dangerous. But that data is that kind of where you drew some of your data from?
Yes. Yeah.
Back here?
These are awesome questions. This is great.
Yes.
You would. Okay.
So, but my question is, what is stopping other people from kind of copying this model? Like, why is it not already being done with the popularity of drones? So, what makes you unique? Like, why
So,
can I not go do that?
I would say the first part of that is passion. There's not the community of people who are just passionate about drones. It's just minuscule. You know, I mean, everybody has their different numbers, but it's probably less than 25,000 people globally. You know, I mean, that's tiny. That's a tiny community. You know, I mean, that would be a fifth of Waco. So there's just not enough people who are passionate about it, and it just takes a very wide range of skills. So not only do you need to be able to do a startup and know the startup things and know business things, but you also need to be able to sit here and talk about why can we not have 25 drones flying at once. So it's just a very wide skill set and a tiny, tiny community right now. So
we've got about 8 minutes left. I'm going to start from the front and go back. So yes.
Can I bring my own drone to your place of business and have you teach me how to fly my own drone?
Would you buy it?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Would you buy it? Would you buy this service, or would you go to a
Would I
drone
buy
park?
the service? Did I understand it was $60 to $80 a month?
Correct. But let me answer your question before you answer that. So yes, so we do plan on offering one-on-ones, sort of like a private, like a Topgolf, they do private golf lessons.
Okay.
So we would offer that, and right now we're looking anywhere between $1 to $150 for those, where you have someone who knows, like, hey, your drone's a Phantom 4 Pro. Let me show you how to set that up. Let me show you how to fly that. Let me show you how to take photos. Let me show you how to take really cool photos. You see? So, yes.
Okay. Would I buy it? I have no children, so probably not.
Okay, cool.
And I'm also
Thanks for your honesty.
I'm also
Thank you for your
outside
honesty.
the demographic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Cynthia and then you. Cynthia, yes.
So beyond the recreational team building, obviously this is going to be a path for employment in the future. So what job training options will you have
Yes, absolutely. So commercial services is another one of our markets. It's sort of, we have our beachhead, right, which is our main commercial market. But then off of that, sort of our sub-beachhead, if you will, is the commercial pilots. People doing like, the police officers, the people who are flying pipeline inspections, the people who are doing telecom inspections. So yes, that's a service we do plan to offer. And then for future jobs, for kids mainly, a huge one is being a drone technician. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, T-Star, the Texas State Technical College in Waco, they have a huge traditional aviation program. I mean, they own half of the Waco airport. And now they're sitting there like, well, what do we do to get our kids into drones? Yeah. We're like, well, you guys might have a drone program. So, yeah, so. Okay.
Thank you.
Jessica?
So first and foremost, I would say that I probably wouldn't purchase it for myself, but my husband most certainly would purchase it.
Okay.
At least one time to try it out. And so what that made me think is, moving forward, as the business continues to expand its dynamics, will it be similar to the iFly, Topgolf type of mentality where there's different type of gamification that is included with this, so you can hit certain points to get reduction in price or additional prizes, whatnot? And secondary, will it allow somebody, the captive audience, to continue coming if there's no interrelationship with those types of things? Because I see a lot of people will probably try it once just because of the hype of it, but how do you keep them coming back?
Yeah, absolutely. So a huge part of it is just trying it. Like, come and do our demo, and I think you'll be hooked. And that's sort of what we've said for these people who want to just try it once. Because, I mean, you really do. You feel like you're flying in a drone. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Oh,
It's
you're not
pretty
wrong.
good.
So, yeah. So yes, absolutely. First timers, bring them in. We'll get them hooked. And then, so the second part of that, yes, we are looking at gamification technologies. And that's part of what we're looking to do that's proprietary as well. Part of our proprietary technology package. So, yes, absolutely.
5 hands are up. Right here in the black.
My husband would actually be interested in purchasing something like this, and it's a great time racing his trucks. My question is more on the corporate aspect of it. Most of the corporate events that I've been to, usually people enjoy imbibing in adult beverages, beer or wine. Would that change your liability and also your user experience?
User experience is the part I don't know about. I can tell you, like, we went to Collision, which is this huge startup conference in New Orleans in March. Definitely go to Collision if you can. And we flew with, during the nightlife, because they had events at the bars and whatnot. We flew around some people who were in a different state of mind, and they enjoyed it 1,000 times beyond what I thought they would normally. So I think, does it change your user experience? Yes, I think it makes it better. And does it change your liability? I do not know, but I'd have to ask our insurance holder. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to field 4 more questions. Yes, sir? Right here. And then we'll go to the left.
Franchising in y'all's business model?
Yes.
Okay.
Not franchising per se, but a similar model to that.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Right here.
Yeah, so, I was curious how big a component is racing in this? Is that like half your focus, or, and how, that's, to me, that would be the thing that would probably keep people coming back. And do you have a vision for people to, A, kind of improve their skills, and then B, be able to customize the drone and make it fly faster, that kind of thing?
Yes, so racing is a huge component of our marketing plan. Same thing, like with basketball, right? The reason you go and play is because you just saw LeBron dunk on some helpless little defender, right? Same thing here, is we want to see the pro racer go out and just, right? It's almost like Formula One. Like, I went to Formula One this year. I'm a Formula One diehard. And at Formula One this year, did anyone go? Okay, yeah. They had Formula One, right? So these guys driving at 200 miles an hour. And then they had the karting track. And that karting track was packed the entire weekend, right? Because these guys would sit there and go like, oh my God, like, this guy's going 200 miles an hour. And they'd be like, I want to go 20 miles an hour over here. And then, and same thing. So, yeah. And then, I'm sorry, the other parts of that question.
Well, and you know, how to promote that, and then customizing, you know, maybe being able to customize your drone to make it go faster. And
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we're like looking at, and it's in our mind, but we just don't know how big the market is for the product of teaching people how to build their drone with their own individual parts, if that makes sense.
Because that could create a retail component as well for parts.
Yeah, so that's one of those things I just have to say, and so we have several things like this where it's like, we have to open and we have to get data. And then we'll know, so.
Okay, we are out of time. I know you guys have more questions, but we do want to kind of hold to our time frame. What I would say is visit with Nick or Marjorie afterwards. You're welcome to interact with them. I'm sure you'll be able to stick around for a few minutes.
We're going to be flying. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.